Good morning. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ari, and I'm extremely passionate about digital marketing and sports marketing in regards to the digital landscape. And this morning, I had to leave the gym and get this blog out because I was perplexed by the story about Manti. And in a second here, I'm going to play the clip for those of you that haven't heard the full story. This was on ABC News. But please stay tuned and watch the rest of this video because I want to talk about a few things regarding the story in terms of social media and branding an athlete. There's going to be people that raise the point, should athletes be using social networks? What could Manti done differently to prevent this story from leaking out in the embarrassing way that it did? And really, what can athletes do to harness their digital brand and own the content that's being put out there? There's a few really key points I want to discuss that were exemplified by this story. So take a look at this video.
The star athlete for the Notre Dame football team riveted the nation with his inspiring story of a girlfriend who had died of leukemia right before a crucial game. It turns out that girl apparently never existed. ABC's Dan Harris explains the incredible tale of fame and deception.
It was one of the most dramatic and emotional stories in recent sports history. Manti, the star linebacker for Notre Dame, enduring the death of both his grandmother and then his girlfriend, Lene Kekua, within just 6 hours.
You take the love of my life. Last thing she said to me was, "I love you."
Teo then went on to lead his team to a series of epic victories. Propelled by his success and his story, he was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. All along, he spoke freely about his twin tragedies.
My older brother called me, and he was just crying and crying and crying, and that's when I kind of knew, but I was still in denial.
But tonight, word that girlfriend, Lene Kekua, never existed at all. The story, first reported on the sports news website Deadspin, says she was a hoax, and that the picture we all saw was of another woman who's very much alive and says she doesn't know Teo at all. Late today, Notre Dame released a statement that coaches were informed by Teo and his parents that the star had been the victim of what appears to be a hoax. The college says someone using the fictitious name Lene Kekua apparently ingratiated herself with Manti and then conspired with others to lead him to believe she had tragically died of leukemia.
I just want to share Manti's statement. He says, "This is incredibly embarrassing to talk about, but over an extended period of time, I developed an emotional relationship with a woman I met online. We maintained what I thought to be an authentic relationship by communicating frequently online and on the phone, and I grew to deeply care about her. To realize that I was the victim of what was apparently someone's sick joke and constant lies was and is painful and humiliating. It further pains me that the grief I felt and the sympathies expressed to me at the time of my grandmother's death in September were in any way deepened by what I believe to be another significant loss in my life. I am enormously grateful for the support of my family, friends, and Notre Dame fans throughout this year. To think that I shared with them my happiness about my relationship and details that I thought to be true about her just makes me sick. I hope that people can understand how trying and confusing this whole experience has been. In retrospect, I obviously should have been more cautious. If anything good comes of this, I hope it is that others will be far more guarded when they engage with people online than I was. Fortunately, I have many wonderful things in my life, and I'm looking forward to putting this painful experience behind me as I focus on preparing for the NFL draft." So people are going to say, athletes shouldn't have Twitter accounts, or there's no value in an athlete, participating in social media. I think that's completely wrong. I just honestly don't think that athletes and their agents and the people in their life that are coaching them are really experts in digital marketing and branding an athlete online. There are several precautions that need to be taken when athletes are using social media. And I think the very first thing is that they need to understand that social media is a tool for them to tell their story. And that story is going to be told as a huge press release every time that they tweet or they put something out online. So, they need to be careful about what they're putting out, and then they also need to own that content. Now, the Deadspin talks about several articles that had misinformation about when he talked to his girlfriend and what she said to him and all this stuff. Had that information been put accurately on his website, or had he tweeted about it, whatever, then now, after the fact, people wouldn't be questioning whether he was in on this hoax or not. So I think the biggest point that athletes need to remember is, what story am I putting out there? And secondly, why I think that athletes in 2013 and beyond are going to need a digital marketing agency or a consultant on their team, even more important than like a PR company, is because they can look at analytics, and they can see, hey, out of your 1 or 2 million fans, however many fans you have, your fans want to know about this. Maybe it's your workout, or maybe it's what your diet is, or maybe it's what your favorite Showtime show is. I mean, there's, stories that, and it's still heartfelt stories that can be released on social media and in articles, but you need to own that content. There needs to be somebody managing that image online. Lastly, I think that this is going to maybe scare some athletes and say, oh, that's why I never put anything out on social media. And I think that's just, that's a bummer, because if they had people on their team doing it the way that it should be done, then they would actually get extreme benefits from social media. And I mean, there's certain athletes who have marketed themselves so well that, maybe they're not even going to be playing anymore, and they still own a brand that's valuable, and that's going to help them in their career, whether that be football or beyond. So make sure you check out some of my other videos. I talk about sports marketing and the digital world a lot, and you can follow me on YouTube. I'm going to post the link below to my athlete blog online, and to Internet Marketing Inc. So I'll see you guys later. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye.